Hello, my name is Peyton Schneider. Here's my audience. Okay, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to make a double figure 8 knot, also known as a figure 8 follow-through knot. Okay, so the knot is composed of two parts. First is the double figure 8, which is super self-explanatory. There's a first figure 8, and then there's a second figure 8. So there's two figure 8s, double figure 8. And then it's followed by what is called the fisherman's knot. Here at Ball State we call it the useless knot, which I'll explain in a little bit. So the double figure 8 knot, or the figure 8 follow-through knot, is the most important and the most commonly used in top rope rock climbing. Top rope rock climbing is when you, as the climber, are tied into a rope like this, and the top of the rope, the middle of the rope I should say, which is generally longer than just this, is attached to the top of the wall at a little hook type loop thing, and the rope can move freely. At the other end of the rope is another person called your belayer, and your belayer is tied into the other end of the rope and also to the ground usually, and they are responsible for catching you if you fall, so that you're safe and you don't fall off the wall and injure yourself. I have been rock climbing since I was about in grade school, and my first real rock climbing trip was when I went with my grandpa to Oklahoma, and we found a very old grain silo, and they had converted it into a 100-foot tall rock climbing wall. And so that was my first ever rock climbing experience. It was 100 feet up in the air. It was really awesome, and I liked the thrill of it so much that I've been doing it ever since. I have rock climbed indoors all over Indiana, and I have rock climbed outdoors, so on real rocks and things, cool stuff like that, in southern Indiana, Kentucky, and in Colorado. I'm also belay certified here at Ball State at the rock wall, which means that I can be that person that keeps you on the wall if you'd ever like to go rock climbing, and it also means that I know how to tie these knots in my sleep. So this knot is also very useful if you ever go camping or long-term hiking where you're out in the woods for multiple days, because it can be used to hoist your bag or your crate up in a tree to keep it away from bears or other wildlife. So now I'll show you the process. The first thing you want to do is find the end of the rope and put it in your, let's say, your right hand. It can be either hand. The other hand is going to slide along the rope like this until the hand that you have the end of the rope in is completely stretched out. So you're going to have about an arm and a half's length worth of rope. It'll go a little bit past your other shoulder. When you do that, you can drop your one end, and you're going to make a loop in the rope, which is called a bite. Okay? The bite of the rope is then, you're going to hold it up like this, and you're going to take the end of the rope and wrap it around the back once. So it'll look like that. Then you're going to take the end of the rope and put it through the bite and pull, and you should have, with a little bit of twisting, a figure 8. See? Now a lot of times if you don't get it right, it can end up looking like a pretzel or something like that. If that happens, you need to redo it because the knot won't work if you do not. Okay. So you have the figure 8. The next part is really simple. As the second name applies, it's called a follow-through figure 8 knot. So you'll put it up through your harness like this, and then you literally just take the end of the rope and follow the figure 8 that you've already made exactly. So the first part goes through here, pull it through. Next it goes around and through this hole. Okay? And lastly, it goes under and through the top. And you simply pull it tight. So this is a really important part. You want to make sure that you have 2 segments of rope at each part of the knot. So it's an easy way to count. You just take 2 fingers and you should have 10 total. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay? If that is the case, then it is impossible to fall on this knot. That is because the double figure 8 knot is self-tightening, which means that no matter how loose I make this knot, if you are up climbing and you fall off the wall, then friction will cause the knot to tighten, as long as your belayer catches you, of course, which the art of belaying is a whole nother speech. So, and then if you fall again, it'll tighten even more. And if you fall again, it'll continue to tighten. So like I said, this is the safest knot to climb with, and it is almost impossible to fall if you are tied in with this knot. Now, there's one other thing at the end of the knot. You can see that you have like all of this extra rope down at the end, and that is it's not safe and it's not fun to climb with this extra rope flinging about because it can smack you in the face if you're trying to do cool moves, or you know what I mean. Or it can get caught on a rock and prevent you from moving on, and that's dangerous as well. So to get this out of the way, we do what's called the fisherman's knot, or like we call it here at Ball State, the useless knot, because all it does is get this out of the way. So it is a safety precaution thing, but it doesn't really do anything for you in the case of a fall, which is why this knot is so important. To make the fisherman's knot, you simply take the end of the rope, wrap it around once, wrap it around twice, and then you take the end, push it up through this knot, pull it tight, and there, your extra rope is out of the way. So, as you can see again, this is the double figure 8 knot, or also known as the figure 8 follow-through knot, followed by the fisherman's knot. And so now all you need is a good pair of shoes, a harness, someone you trust enough to catch you in case of a fall, and you're on your way to becoming the world's best rock climber. So good luck and have fun. Thank you. And here is my audience again. Thank you very much.